Dominica to soon formalize its trade agreement with Cuba, and Dowasco to invest millions in water projects this year. I am Lurian Graham with the Channel 5 News. Details after this.
Have you paid your mapping bill? The 10th of the month is disconnection. Upon disconnection, visit Mapping's main office. You will be required to pay off your balance and the reconnection fee. Reconnections will be done within 72 hours. So, avoid getting disconnected. Pay your mapping bill on time, because life is better with mapping. Cashwiz is the one-of-a-kind pawn shop in Dominica. We'll trade all your old and used appliances for cash, grant loans applicable to the value of your vehicle and other appliances. A community service-oriented organization actively involved in building communities and empowering the young, while partnering with social groups for nation building. So come to Cashwiz Dominica on the corner of Stable Street and St. Johnson's Avenue, Pottersville, Roseau. Call us today at 440-5555. Check us out on Facebook or email dominica@cashwiz.com.
Your style, your taste, your look. As individual as you are. Find the furniture piece that's right for you, only at Quartz. Choose from our wide selection of fresh new designs, luxurious comfort, and contemporary elegance. Best of all, it's more affordable than you think. So create the room that's all about you. Come into Quartz today, where furniture is fashionable. Quartz, bringing value home.
In the news, Dominica is ready to formalize its trade and cooperative relationship with Cuba.
Dominica, along with other CARICOM member states, signed an agreement with Cuba in 2000 for that to become a reality. However, CARICOM states have not fully capitalized on that opportunity. Trade Director Martin Walter says Dominica will soon begin that process to ratify the agreement.
We, however, were experiencing or we foresaw little difficulties in trading with Cuba. Some of them would be the issue of the currency. Some of them relate to the embargo, the American embargo against Cuba. Some of them would relate to the time frame within which it takes to, for example, register a company in Cuba. Also the time it takes to pay the person or the producer from Dominica sending their product to Cuba.
Those reservations have been addressed following a meeting between Cuba officials and a trade officer within the Ministry of Trade.
We have producers here in Dominica that we have already spoken to who have shown an interest in trading with Cuba. So what we would need to do now is to clear the path to trade. Where the banking concerns, when the banking concerns were raised, we have found a reasonable solution to that. In relation to the companies and the time frame for registrations, the Cubans are willing to deal with that. I didn't just say trade, I say cooperation. We benefit from Cuba in health, we benefit from Cuba in relation to education, but these may not have been formalized in the context of a signed and legal instrument. The agreement will do that for us.
Now that President Obama has announced that the U.S. will ease the freeze in diplomatic relations with Cuba, there's less worry about shipping logistics for Dominica.
If, for example, the liners that we use would have to, on its way to the United States, stop in Cuba, because of the embargo that would have prevented the ship from being able to dock at a Cuban port. We have a company, for example, here in Dominica, which has American interests, and that company once used to trade with Cuba, but because of that there was they ceased. And this company has the capacity to begin trading with Cuba again. Prior to the news of Obama, when we discussed trade with Cuba, we were thinking of using a hub in Jamaica a logistics hub in Jamaica where the Dominican or CARICOM goods could go to and then be disseminated to Cuba.
And the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, through the Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO, is projecting that its investment in water resources in Dominica in 2015 is expected to surpass last year's figures.
The company's general manager says $20 million was spent on water projects in Dominica in 2014, but based on current commitments, a further $40 to $50 million will be spent in 2015. Some of the projects undertaken in 2014 include the over $4 million Benz water system completed. That project will be formally commissioned soon. Also on the list is the Grand Four Water project, which has the potential to extend to Rivière Syrique and other nearby communities. 2014 also saw the upgrade of works on the Water Area 1, which spans Meru to Castle Comfort. Phase 1 consists of a storage tank and improved water system.
We have spent about $4 million already on that upgrade project, but another $16 million or so to be spent in 2015 and part of 2016. That water system provides water from the Meru all the way to Castle Comfort. It's fed from the Springfield River. We are going to be doing a new intake in that area, putting in new treatment facilities, added storage. As you've already heard, we've done 2 of those storage tanks already, 250,000 gallons in Antrim, 100,000 gallons in Massac, and those will provide much improvement to the system.
The Massac storage tank, completed in 2014, is expected to be in use this year, and storage tanks and distribution network built in Grand Savan, Salisbury are expected to come on stream soon. Projects in Union Estate, Point Michel and Savan in Scott's Head are expected to be completed by February. In 2014, works also started on the Bells Penrice Sylvania Lyopak water system. Bernadette Inoff says all these developments have brought Dominica much closer to having pipe-borne water in every household.
One of the things the Minister and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management has clearly articulated is that we have to now begin to emphasize water resource management as the way forward, now that we have provided water to about 97–98% of Dominica, and we hope to, by the end of this year, to be at almost 100%. We now have to begin to focus on water resource management, which means that we have to begin to look at the resource in a different way and try to make sure that we use it wisely, so that we will have water for our people now and for future generations.
In trade, the Dominica Manufacturers Association will further push for trade relations with Guadeloupe and Martinique this year.
The Dominica Manufacturers Association is in its 3rd year. During its operations, it has conducted a situation analysis of the manufacturing sector, facilitated business students in their business ventures, and hosted shopping campaigns for local producers. Its president, Jean-Yves Bonnier, says in 2014, the association tried to maintain its dynamism, but he says that was challenging due to the election campaign season.
Going forward in 2015, what we certainly want is to see more manufacturers coming together. We also want to, of course, continue working with government. I think it's because resources are scarce all over. It is important that business support organizations and government services work closely together to maximize the outputs of whatever resource we have access to.
The Manufacturers Association already has a cordial relationship with the Martinique Manufacturers Association. It hopes local producers and manufacturers can better penetrate the French market.
So we have this ongoing program with the Dominica Bureau of Standards, with Dexia, with the NDFD, and with Invest Dominica, where we have identified a number of products that we manufacture here and that are probably in demand in the French islands. And we are working on those programs also with our counterparts in the French islands. So we make sure that we don't compete directly with their own productions. And we do hope that in 2015 that will be materialized and that we will gradually see some companies here that we can assist also with finance to better access those markets.
Honey and fruit pulp are at least 2 products which have been identified for French manufacturers to buy locally.
And we are also working on some semi-finished products like fruit pulp that can be further used by manufacturers in Martinique to do ice creams, to do juices, and things that we can probably do here and benefit from those larger markets next to us.
Regionally, OECS member states will make free movement of goods its next focus this year.
This is part of the vision to implement the components of the OECS Economic Union. The OECS Secretariat established an economic union in 2011 under the revised Treaty of Bastia to enhance the way of life for OECS countries.
For 2015, the OECS is going to look at the movement of goods now, goods and services. And there are people, consultants, who are now studying that aspect. They have come to Dominica and they have been to other countries as well. And we expect them to give us a report soon to guide us with respect to the free movement of goods and services to facilitate trade within OECS member states. For example, if you get your goods, if you're bringing goods from outside of the OECS and it gets into, say, St. Lucia, and you happen to pay tax there, if you move it to Dominica, you wouldn't have to pay tax a second time because you'd have paid tax already. If we want to send our water, Lubia water, to St. Lucia, then, you know, those taxes will probably maybe disappear.
As of December 2014, OECS members have put all measures in place for the free movement of people.
You can move from one country to the next with a picture ID. You don't necessarily have to use a passport. So any ID you have with your picture on it and that states your nationality will take you through the port of entry of any OECS member state. And when you get to the port of entry, you get indefinite stay. So nobody will ask you how long you're staying because you could stay there as long as you can sustain yourself in the territory.
Other benefits are that an OECS citizen can use his driver's license in another OECS state and also not have to apply for a work permit in another OECS country. Idona Jean-Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
More in the news coming up.
Shopping is a lot easier with Courts Ready Finance. Choose what you want from our wide range of quality products and we take care of the rest. Courts Ready Finance's affordability means there's no deposit. There's no need for a lump sum of cash. It's flexible, which means you choose your payment term and you're guaranteed the lowest monthly payments anywhere. Best of all, it's easy. Easy to get and easy to pay. Shop at Courts today and get what you want hassle-free. Courts Ready Finance. Easy, affordable, flexible.
Welcome back. A local community activist and director of the Love One Teach One Foundation highlights a packed month of activities already for 2015. Gloria Walsh says the foundation, which is geared at assisting less fortunate children in the Bath Estate, Silver Lake area, will form a new youth group as early as next week.
We're planning on having a camp for the young people because we have gone to one camp and they have enjoyed it, doing leadership programs. It has been a struggle as a young foundation, but I must say thanks God that, He has brought us through everything. And we have been seeing now you know, the progress, especially the young people I've worked with in Silver Lake, and the parents, I owe it all to them.
She says for the past 2 years, with the help of a new youth group, Souls, organized for an ultimate purpose, they have been providing school supplies to students in addition to other activities. The foundation also hosted its 3rd annual etiquette dinner last week.
We train them in terms of using the soup spoon, the knife, the fork, how to have proper conversation at the table, and also how to excuse themselves when they are eating at the table.
In addition to working with children, Walsh is also engaged in a reading program at the state prison. She says the program, which started in September 2014, teaches young prisoners basic reading skills.
That came about because of Dr. Peter Seja and I. We have been doing a program for the past 2 years, every summer, with the Better Me, Better You program, which helps not only the prisoners, but we have been doing the program with the children of Love One Teach One Foundation, Trafalgar. We have done it in Trafalgar and some other areas. So that came about when I saw the need for the reading, and then we just decided that's it. So we're going in there and do as much as we can.
Since beginning the program, 7 inmates have signed up to do the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC program. Walsh says because of the program, more prisoners are showing interest in reading. And the Discover Dominica Authority provides further training opportunities to boost the tourism sector. Through an international cooperation project with Argentina, the DDA is offering 3 online training courses free of charge. The short courses, Introduction to Online Marketing, Environmental Management in Tourism, and Quality in Tourism Service Management, can be completed in a minimum of 6 weeks with a certificate of completion. The Discover Dominica Authority sees this as an opportunity to increase the knowledge and skills of individuals already working in the sector and those interested in tourism-related fields. For more information, the Discover Dominica Authority can be contacted via telephone at 448-2045. A link to registration for the courses can be accessed at discoverdominica.com. The DDA also hosted a workshop on December 29 on the art of improvisation in collaboration with jazz artist Cameron Peer. 40 people attended the workshop to discuss band etiquette and the importance of punctuality and working within a band setting, guitar tuning, and volume issues. Coming up, how the dismissal of Marlon Samuels impacted the outcome of the West Indies' 3rd test against South Africa. Gavin Richards is next with sports.
First up, some cricket news. The West Indies captain Dinesh Ramdin says Marlon Samuels' untimely dismissal was a major contributing factor to the result of the 3rd test against South Africa. The West Indies crashed to an 8-wicket loss to South Africa on Tuesday to lose the 3-match series 2-0. Samuels played an unnecessary shot in the 2nd innings, and that sparked a major collapse where the West Indies lost 7 wickets for just 33 runs.
Not really harsh words, but one of our senior batters to play a shot like that when he was in, it's an uncalled for shot. He was one of the guys who was set and could have gone on and made a difference today for us. Himself and Chandler Paul had a very good partnership, and always getting new guys to come at the crease. And Dale Steyn is fired up at the other end. It's difficult for a new batter to come in and face those deliveries.
Today's results also means that the West Indies have only won 1 test match away from the Caribbean since 2000, not counting the wins over Bangladesh and Zimbabwe. That's 1 win in 48 tries. Ramdin, however, says that the future looks bright.
Yeah, it's a very good, the future looks good for it. And young Craig Braffett, he batted well throughout the series. Young Leon Johnson, he stood up at times, he got starts and didn't carry on to get 100. Young Blackwood, he batted well at times as well when he got his opportunity. So on the bowling department, young Shannon Gabriel, first time in South Africa, he bowled quickly, didn't get the amount of wickets that he wanted. So hopefully they can take a lot out of this.
In more cricket news, the Windward Islands captain Liam Sebastian is looking forward to a stronger performance from the Windward's Volcanoes as they face Guyana in the opening match of the regional Super 50 Overs tournament in Trinidad next week. The Windwards lost every game in the 50-over format last season, a year after they were crowned the champions. The Volcanoes are currently training in Dominica and will have a practice match on Wednesday. Sebastian says his team will do better this time around.
Give us an idea as to the form of the team. Before the tournament, you've been a little slow off the blocks, if only one win from, I think, 4 matches. It's a different brand of cricket, different style of cricket, but what's the form of the team like going into this tournament?
Well, we haven't played for some time, obviously, be the Christmas holidays. The guys had a little break after the last 4-day game. The 40, we were not in the best of form in the 40, but still we were not far off. We lost 2 games very close that we should have won, so it's not a situation that we have been in extremely poor form. It's just a matter of, I think the mental strength of us have to be a little bit tougher right through the game. And it's a shorter version of the game, and I think our players most can say we are more suited for that style of the game. So I think obviously with that we fancy our chances, and I think that we have a much better chance going into this competition now, as long as we play to our strength.
What do you say are probably the keys to success for this tournament for the Windward Islands?
The key to success, we have to bat well. As long as we bat well, I think that we have the bowlers. Our bowlers have always been doing good throughout the years. So as long as we put some good totals on the board, I think that we have the bowlers to defend it. So it's just a matter of putting some totals that we're comfortable with on the board. And I think that's the key to success in going to the competition.
And former under-19 Windward Islands captain and combined college and campuses hopeful Jelani Robinson is hoping for the best as he awaits the outcome of a hamstring injury. Robinson, who is currently in Barbados attempting to make the final squad for the combined college and campuses team, suffered the injury during a trial match last weekend. He was set to have a scan on Tuesday to determine the extent of the injury.
At first it wasn't that serious, but when I tried to drag another single, I realized it was very serious and I was taken to the hospital. Yeah, well, obviously this injury is a first for me. I never knew this was so serious, but I believe in God, and hopefully up there I could recover quickly. Obviously it is frustrating because, to be honest, since I've been playing cricket, I've been the fittest I've ever felt, and in terms of form and consistency, I feel on a different level. To get this injury, it's obviously a slight setback.
And President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Felix Wilson, says he is hopeful that 4 athletes chosen to receive Rio Olympic scholarships will get positive results at next year's Olympics in Brazil. The athletes will receive $1,000 a month to aid in their preparations for the Games. And in Domino news, Wake Up Stars, Marina Mount Zion and Timothy Rebels all notched up wins last weekend in the Red Cap Domino League competition. In results from Week 5, Zone A, Wake Up Stars they got the better of GB and Marina Mount Zion beat Baghdad. In Zone B, Public Enemies defeated Skills, Timothy Rebels defeated Just Come, and the games between Swansea and Prime Rental Homeboys and Bay Boys and Cochrane, those matches ended prematurely. In Zone C, Fire Services beat Giants, Lime Street got the better of Dynamic Stars, La Plaine was too much for Kingsley Power, and in Zone D, the Dolphins, they swam past the Tremors, Golden Arms defeated Lions, and Marchand, they got the better of Rabbit Holes. Matrix also beat Bath 4 points. And BJ Watlin and Kane Williamson shared a record partnership for the 6th wicket and unbeaten 365-run stand to put New Zealand in firm control of the second test with Sri Lanka. Williamson scored 242 not out and Watlin 142 not out as New Zealand declared on 524 for 5 in their second innings, setting Sri Lanka a target of 390 to win on the final day. Play should have started on that final day and Sri Lanka were 45 for 1 at the start of play on the 5th and final day. The scores again, New Zealand 221 and 524 for 5 declared, Sri Lanka 356 and 45 for 1. Sri Lanka needs 345 more runs to win that game. And Australia's top 4, they laid the smackdown on India as the Indians were made to toil hard on the opening day of their final test with Australia. The Australians lost only 2 wickets on day 1 and ended on 348 for 2. Play should also be underway on Sportsmax on channel 38. Australia starting day 2 on 348 for 2. David Warner scored 101, Chris Rogers 95, Stephen Smith 82 not out, and Shane Watson 61 not out. That's a wrap on sports. Join us next time.
And it looks like more scattered showers coming your way. Your weather report is next.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. Again, we begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. A few low-level clouds which moved across the region today, resulting in partly cloudy to cloudy skies across Dominica. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it showed. A few scattered showers which moved across the region today, resulting in 8 millimeters of rainfall reported at the Kingsville Airport and 2.6 millimeters reported at the Douglas Charles Airport. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with some scattered showers, with temperatures down to 20 degrees Celsius in the interior. Tomorrow's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with scattered showers, with temperatures up to 29 degrees Celsius. Sea conditions are expected to be rough in open water with swells up to 10 feet. A small craft warning is in effect for above normal sea swells. Therefore, small craft operators and sea beavers are advised to exercise caution. Conditions for the next 3 days: partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers expected on Wednesday and Thursday, with an increase in cloudiness expected and scattered showers expected by Friday. Breezy conditions expected to be maintained throughout the 3-day period. Conditions tomorrow for the rest of the Caribbean: occasional cloudiness with scattered showers, and also breezy conditions can be expected throughout the Caribbean tomorrow. Our international cities forecast: partly cloudy skies expected in New York, Miami, and Caracas, with mostly cloudy skies expected in London and clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:34 a.m. and sunset at 5:50 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Have a good night.
This is Channel 5 News. The headlines: Dominica to soon formalize its trade agreement with Cuba, and Dowasco to invest millions in water projects this year. Send your questions and comments to news@mapping2k4.com. For instant access to the news, download the TurnUp 767 app. On behalf of the production team, I am Lurian Graham. Thank you for watching.